Alright, so today I'm back with yet another episode, Nagi Chapter review, and today we will go over Chapter 17 and 18, where Team Nagi faces off against Team RIN for a rematch, as we know that in the last game they lost brutally. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold you guys anymore, just be sure to please leave a like and a comment as well as join the Discord server. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Now Isagi's team wins the game. Nagi looks at his teammates, asking them who they should choose. Baru replies that he wants number 50 Kunigami. As with him, they'd have more opportunities on the front line, allowing Baru to score more goals with Kunigami's presence. Nagi tells him he's wrong, arguing that Ryo would be a better choice. With Ryo as an anchor, he could set up shots, balance out the defense, and ultimately be the best choice for allowing all three of them to play as they want. Baru sighs, conceding that Nagi has a point. Then Isagi speaks up, mentioning that he wants someone who will push all three of them to greater heights. He looks at Chigiri, smirking, and says that he's the only one who wouldn't disappear in this chemical reaction. Chigiri looks at him, stunned. Ryo watches this exchange in shock when Nagi approaches him, mentioning that his last play was only possible because he was up against him. Nagi tells Ryo he has amazing abilities, and that he trusted him enough to gamble on the possibility of making a pass in such an impossible situation. Nagi admits it could have gone either way, and that Ryo is truly impressive. But he continues, telling Ryo that he's moving forward now, though he believes they'll meet again. Ryo smirks, saying that if that's the case, Nagi should just pick him. Ryo insists that he doesn't need Nagi's reassurance, and that he should just say what he means without caring about him. At this moment, Nagi feels a sense of disgust, while Ryo continues, mentioning that Nagi has changed. Ryo accuses Nagi of saying things he shouldn't, and asks how he could forget their promise to become the best in the world together. Ryo tells Nagi that if he's going to abandon him, he should just go through with it. But in his mind, the thing he truly wants to tell Nagi is to never give up. Nagi remains calm, asking Ryo if he'd be satisfied if he joined the team now, even though they're not excited about it. He asks Ryo if he thinks becoming the best in the world is that simple, and accuses him of being the one who forgot their promise. Finally, he tells Ryo to forget it, calling him a pain. In his mind, Ryo thanks Nagi, acknowledging that Nagi has finished him off emotionally. Nagi tells Ryo he no longer cares, and Ryo, silently, thanks him again, recognizing that they're both done. As they part ways, Isagi looks at Ryo and tells him he shouldn't aim to be chosen, but should work toward being the one who chooses. Isagi stares at him, questioning his purpose in Blue Lock. Only those capable of becoming the world's best striker can survive in Blue Lock. Kunigami approaches Ryo, telling him that if he takes his eyes off them now, it's over for him. Afterward, both Ryo and Kunigami return to the second round. Meanwhile, Isagi's team qualifies for the fourth stage. Nagi lies on his bed, thinking about Ryo's words, recalling how he changed. But now, Ryo's words about abandoning him and their promise to become the best together echo in his mind. Nagi lies there, frustrated, as he wrestles with these unfamiliar emotions. He can't quite understand what he's feeling, or why Ryo has made things so complicated. Unsure which of them is right, he tells himself he doesn't care, and will deal with it later. As all four of them reach the battlefield, Nagi calls Isagi, asking if he can say something selfish. He wants to battle the number one. Nagi thinks that if he doesn't pursue what's exciting anymore, then leaving Ryo behind would lose its meaning. Right now, he will ignite and let out everything he has. Isagi smirks, asking Bachira to let's go, and as they start the play, the ball is kicked off. Isagi gains control of the ball, thinking that he'll make it count. Bachira smirks, sensing Isagi's determination. Meanwhile, Nagi feels that the ball can only be in a certain position and executes a back kick, which goes to Chigiri, who scores a goal. Bachira and Rin's team are taken aback, realizing that Isagi's team has grown stronger than before. As the game restarts, Rin taunts Isagi, saying they're playing such mediocre soccer that it doesn't move him in the slightest. He kicks off the ball, bringing the score to 1 goal each. Nagi observes Rin, thinking he's really nuts, but he also realizes that the entire opposing team has leveled up and is now moving with sharper, more coordinated plays. As the game resumes, Rin asks Bachira to take the ball to the goal box, and Bachira agrees. Sprinting toward Isagi, he taunts him, before he sends away the pass to Ryu, who heads it, calling it his wild dance, and scores another goal. Isagi and Nagi are stunned, realizing that things are getting intense. Nagi thinks that adding Bachira has sparked new creativity in their team's chemical reaction, and acknowledges that these guys are seriously strong. He reflects that it's a pain that he still feels so unsettled, and he's burning to crush them. As the game restarts, Nagi wonders why he's feeling like this, remembering Ryo's words that he didn't know anything and never truly felt driven. He wonders if he's changed since joining Blue Lock, realizing that the person he was, the one who met Rio, is gone now. Now, he just wants to get stronger, and even if Rio isn't there, he wants to be able to fight on his own. But as he pushes himself to reach the ball, Rio's words echo in his mind, and he momentarily loses focus. Rin catches on to this, and now, as they're facing each other, Nagi is still hearing Rio's words, shouting in his mind that he's not Rio's toy, and that he can't go back now. He gives it his all, and everyone watches in shock as he performs a two-stage feint, followed by a volley shot, and scores. Isagi shudders, asking him if he's some kind of sick god. Nagi, still feeling anger and frustration toward Rio, apologizes to him in his mind, realizing he really has changed. Soccer now feels so damn good to him, more than he ever thought possible. Both teams are back to an equal score. As Henri watches from the screen, she remarks in amazement that it's crazy seeing both teams going all out, neck and neck with the score tied. She laughs with happiness, marveling at the sheer intensity, commenting that every play in this match is at an incredibly high level. She turns to Ego, asking if he agrees. Ego, however, cuts her off, telling her to shut up, reminding her that this isn't a game she's just watching for fun, as if she were at home. Embarrassed, Henri quickly bows, apologizing, explaining that she couldn't hold back her excitement. Ego then muses, wondering aloud whether the prodigy will wrench things his way or if the genius will sweep the victory away. Henri notes that it's time for the final goal, which will determine the first team to clear the selection. Nagi is laser-focused, thinking that crushing Rin is the ultimate objective. Isagi echoes his thoughts, declaring confidently that they're going to crush Rin's team and prove that the four of them are stronger. Nagi glances over at Bachira, finding it odd that he's so calm in such a heated moment. As the final kick is about to happen, Bachira is caught off guard when Chigiri steals the ball, taunting him for being too slow. Nagi looks at Bachira, telling him that his behavior seems off, asking if he's trying to lose on purpose, questioning if he really thinks that'll help him get chosen. Nagi sharply tells him he's still living in a dreamland, admitting it kind of annoys him. Nagi continues, saying bluntly that he doesn't need him the way he is now, and if they win, he'd rather have Rin on their side. He suspects that Isagi feels the same way. Nagi reflects, feeling a familiar frustration that reminds him of Rio, of how Rio always pulled others into his dreams, eventually coming to rely on him. Nagi thinks about how, when Rio felt betrayed, he lost everything and completely fell apart. It was annoying after Rio had finally gotten fired up. Now, he realizes he doesn't want weak players on the field, and the energy he felt after his defeat to Isagi is coming back with renewed force. This intensity, he thinks, is what he needs to be reborn through this game. As the whole team is shouting to secure the final goal, Nagi tells them they're going to clinch it with this last play, thinking that no matter what it takes, he will defeat Rin. Isagi surges forward, pushing himself to score, but Rin counters fiercely, his own determination ignited by Isagi. Nagi catches sight of Bachira, whose vibe now feels entirely different. Nagi realizes Bachira is struggling but trying to change, just as he is. Nagi feels drawn to Isagi's light, and it drives him to evolve. Suddenly, Bachira seizes the ball and charges toward the goal, leaving everyone in shock. Nagi tries to block him, but Bachira won't stop, entirely centered and embodying the fire of the field. As Bachira shoots the ball, Isagi comes before the ball, and Isagi shouts out to Bachira, saying that he believed in him. The ball then goes high up into the sky before it falls down to Rin, who scores the last goal of the match. Nagi feels his heat and the spotlight stolen away, realizing how weak he feels in that moment as the other team takes the game-winning goal. The match ends, and the red team claims victory. Isagi grits his teeth, overwhelmed, admitting to himself that this is the first time he's tasted defeat since coming to Blue Lock. Rin approaches, telling Isagi to stay close, saying he'll be the one to witness him becoming the best in the world. Bachira smirks, while Isagi apologizes to his team, saying they were just a step away from defeating the top three. He adds that the last goal came down to luck, and that they didn't fully lose to them. Chigiri interrupts, telling him to save his words, reminding him that Rin chose him, so he should accept it and move on. Baru glares at him, warning that if he keeps looking so down, he'll kill him, and tells him to hurry up and get going. Nagi turns to Isagi, acknowledging that he really was the star of their team, and says that the supporting players are the ones who got the bill. He adds with determination that next time, they'll crush him, and that they'll come back even without him. Isagi challenges them to bring it on, as all three of them burn with anger and resolve. Nagi collapses to the ground, frustration washing over him, feeling like he still doesn't have enough. He looks up at his teammates and declares that he's not done yet. He still wants to play soccer, and he promises them that they'll get their revenge.